Hello, thanks for tuning in. And today we'll be playing Room of the Flowers. So we're about to start chapter 3 now. Not sure how long I've been out. Not more than a few hours. So I'm starting to wake up. I think someone turned one of the lights on in the kitchen. I'm so exhausted that I chalk it up to nothing but drinking shenanigans. That's why I hear the sounds of the door open, along with an irritating creak to go with it. I can't even flutter my eyelids open. I decided to say, fuck it, and try to drift back to sleep. If I die, I die. It's like, hey. Hey, Cyrus, wake up. Just like that, the blanket I planted on my head to block out the extra light is torn right off. What? My body aches as I'm forced out of my short slumber. The special kind of ache that makes you feel like you're in slow motion. Damien? What the hell? Don't you Damien me, mister. You promised you'd get up early with me to go running. I limply turned over to look at the alarm clock. It's 5:55 a.m. I said I'd get up at 6. Those extra minutes would have helped. Damien scratches the back of his head. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess I got a bit excited. You hear his tail swish a bit. We haven't gotten to hang out like this in a while, so I exhale with a smile on my face. I can't get mad at him for something like this. No worries, I just had a rough night of sleep. Too rough? Not rough enough to keep me from our date. Demon's ears perk at that as he does that big goofy smile of his. And you barely see him in the moonlight, but he's as adorable as ever. Although, if we want to make up for it, there's still 3 minutes before I promise I'd get up. Sleepily, I pat the extra space on the bed. Mind joining me? I could use some warming up now that someone snatched my blanket. Damien snorts at that before circling around to the other side of my bed. It would be my pleasure to be your body pillow this morning, Si. Glad to hear it. Just know I intend to hit the snooze button at least once or twice. I guess I can let that slide just this once. We giggle as I invite Damien under the covers. His warm fur almost instantly pulls me back asleep. But not before I feel his feline tail curl up around my leg. It's a habit he's picked up from our numerous cuddle sessions. Yeah, that snooze button is going to get a workout this morning for sure. It isn't until after I press the snooze button for the third time that Damien finally coerces me to get out of bed. And by coerces, I mean pick me up and bringing me to the bathroom to get ready. Babe. I go over my dry throat and tired voice. Babe, do I need to force you in the shower again? No. I pat his back. I was sitting for him to put me down. Besides, you know I like to shower after our ones. That's true, but he does that mischievous look, one I'm all too familiar with. I was talking more about a cold shower to wake you up. I said that that's the last thing I need right now. I know your name is Damien and all, but you don't have to act like the Antichrist first thing in the morning. I see before giving a long yawn. It's more like the fourth thing in the morning. Someone wanted to cuddle. Who could blame me? Your fur is just so inviting. I cling to him again, face planted into his chest. Ah, my favorite pillows. Damien clears his throat, his voice tinged with embarrassment. Sorry, I'll get ready now. You better, we'll miss the sunrise at this rate. Oh no, the horror. Once I finally detached myself from my boyfriend, I gave him I gave myself a moment for another long stretch. I look at the clock. It's nearly 6:20 now. We'll need to hurry. The sun usually rises at around 7 this time of the year. I was looking forward to our morning workout, to be fair. The Arizona winters are more amicable than up north, so it's actually nice that we can work out together more often, although that's offset by the summers. It's too hot to even attempt to exercise in July. To that end, we decided to try a run together at least once a week during the winter. Damien didn't complain. His firm made it hard to work out in the summer anyway. This is another thing we have in common. I got some new protein shake stuff the other day. While I get ready, could you make us some? Can do. He beams as he heads out of the bathroom. Just don't take too long, or else I'll assume you fell back asleep. He looks behind me to the shower. It would be a shame if I had to get the bucket again. I loosened my razor before taunting him with it. It would be a shame if a certain tiger gave himself an inverted mohawk again. But that was one time. He stammers to which I snigger at. It's okay, babe. You look good as a hairless cat. He gives me a loud before leaving me to my own devices. He's so cute when he's flustered. I look at myself in the mirror. It's been a few days since I last shaved, so I'm a bit scruffy. There was one from my own facial hair. Thankfully, it never takes me too long to putty myself up. Once I finish rinsing the hair down to drain, I go to brush my teeth. I start mentally going over everything I need to do today. This is the one day I vowed to take completely off. No studying, no dissertation prep, just spending a nice time with Damien. After about 10 minutes, I look somewhat presentable, although I'm already looking forward to my shower when we get back. Time to get dressed. Damien's definitely rubbed off on me when it came to dressing for workout. The sleeveless top and shorts are hard to beat. And look at the clock. It's 6:33. Maybe those extra snoozes were a bad idea. Can't let Damien know that, though. He rightfully make fun of me. I scan the room one more time to make sure I have everything. I'm pretty sure I do. Damien is on the couch, sorting through his backpack. Hey, I'm just about ready. You got everything? Think so, you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You sure you don't want earmuffs? Yeah, the temperature is basically spring weather for me. What about you? Don't worry. He pulls up his hood. I came prepared. I can't help but clutch my chest. God, that hoodie is super cute. One of my better investments, that's for sure. I shake my morning butterflies out and gesture towards the door. Come on, we got a few miles to get under our belts. Damien puts his backpack on and tosses me a shake. Just try and keep up with me. I don't know, that butt is nice to stare at. Oh wow, someone's feeling frisky this morning. What's the occasion? Oh, nothing, don't get used to it. Wouldn't dream of it. Damien winks. We both laugh before making our way out of the dormitory. It's nice to have a partner who's willing to go along with my quirks. What say you? Want to turn this into a race? Interesting proposition. What do you have in mind? Last one to our goal has to buy the winner whatever they want at the cafe. Although I don't think I have enough funds to handle your caffeine addiction. Guess you're gonna have to beat me then. I'll see you at the Hilltop benches. With that, Damien speeds off. Hey, no fair. I'm the one who needs the handicap here. I yell as I start trying to catch up to him. It's still fairly dark out, and what's worse is that the nature trail we take doesn't have many lights. Damien told me because he's a tiger he has better night vision, so I usually just follow his lead. He's tripped only a few times on our outings, so it's pretty reliable. I'm usually too nervous to wear headphones at this time of morning. There are a few benches along the path that are by light posts. The path goes around the city. It's by counting the benches I can somewhat figure out how far we've gone. At the 11th one, I call out to Damien through some haggard breathing. Dang, let's take a break, okay? I can hear Damien screech to a stop, his breathing not nearly as bad as mine. Sure, it has been a couple miles. I'm impressed you barely could run a mile this time last year. All thanks to my wonderful coach. I can't even finish a quip between my gasping breaths. Damien Johnson meet me at the bench, handing me a bottle of water. Take slow sips and don't sit down. It'll make it harder to keep going. I know. I grumble gratefully as I drink some water. We're about halfway through our run at this point, and thankfully it's been pretty uneventful. Damien notices my constant look behind his. You okay? Yeah, why? You're unusually tense. What's up? Oh, sorry, not trying to be. Just running at this time of morning hasn't been the same for a while. Yeah, I get you. That's why we'll stick together, okay? I nod. A few months ago, Damien and I ran into someone who I'm pretty sure was a meth head. Thankfully, it was 2:01 and the sun was already out. But still, I would rather not have to see Damien bloody up like that again. It's a big reason why we hadn't done this in a while. I didn't think my first time doing real first aid would be on my boyfriend. I shake my head, trying to get rid of my worries. This is supposed to be our safe space, and I'm not going to let some druggie ruin that for us. Against my bare judgment, I splash some water on my face. The cool night air does its job and snatches me out of my broodiness. Sigh? Phew, okay, let's keep going. If we want to make it, we'll need to be faster, right? I try to put a bright face on for Damien. We've been looking forward to a day like this for so long, a day where our schedules finally align. He puts on the goofy smile I've fallen for. Right. I sprint past him, but my lead doesn't last long. Not that I mind. A little bit of healthy competition goes a long way. Damien's got that competition edge to him, even for a morning jog. The silent night is starting to fade, partly due to our excessive panting, but mainly due to the rising sun ahead of us. Come on, Si, we're almost there. My ability to give a verbal response disappeared about 4 miles ago. I just give him a thumbs up as I force myself up the final hill. Curse my love for this man. I hope he knows he's the only person on earth I do this for. Almost there. Damien's waving to me near the top. He's backlit by the rising sun. The only thing keeping me going at this point is him. I had to shield my eyes from the sun. The transition from night to day catches me off guard to the point where I nearly tripped. Didn't even realize I already sped past Damien. Thankfully, Damien catches me from behind before I go flying off the hill. Well there, Tiger, calm down. My legs are kicking a bit as if I'm still running, but they sputter out soon after being caught. Everything feels like putty, and I have no choice but to slump against Damien's chest. Not that I mind, of course. He's breathing hard. He's breathing fairly hard, too, which calms me my own breathing down, ironically enough. Safe to say we took this morning run a little too seriously. You'd think it was a marathon the way we were running. Diana was right. He's really well off on me. I win. Good one. Not kidding. I got to my destination first. Huh? Woosop was squished his cheek fluff. I could feel his face flush a bit at that. I haven't made it to the benches yet, but I never said those were my destination. Mine was just to get to you. I snickered. That'll teach him to pull a fast one on me, literally. Damien huffs and grumbles. He knows when he's lost. You're so lame. There's undeniably some embarrassment in his voice. He's never been one to take a loss easily. You're just lucky I went easy on you this time, on account of it being a while for you. Babe, I won all the time, just in the afternoon. Time for a victory lap. Damien cuts me off. He giggles before he spins me around in his arms. Oh no, it's his signature move. Hey, come on, don't be a sore loser. He's not going fast, but my body is so far I'm powerless to stop him. Gotta give the winner the attention he deserves. Our joint laughter breaks the morning calm on this hilltop we found ourselves on. Steven's laughter lasts longer than mine. Who would have thought having a laughing fit while recovering from a workout would be so difficult? It took us about 15 minutes to recover from our impromptu victory lap. Steven announced that as a loser he'd get us both some water. There was no way in hell I was going to turn that down. Here, it's warmer than the stuff we brought along. Just drink it slowly. That's my line. He's trying to become a doctor again. Oh yeah, who's actually enjoying trying to become a doctor again? Damn, got me there. We click our paper cones full of water, a classic park commodity. How's that going, by the way? It's going. One of my professors is a complete tool, but most of the other professors make the program manageable. That's good. I was a bit worried. Dan told me you were having trouble adjusting for a while. Yeah, I can't deny it. It's hard to move from your passion to, well, something that isn't your passion. Are you sure that you're okay with that? I made peace with it. I know my folks just want the best for me. They're not the only ones. You just let us know if you need anything, alright? Doing know that things day. Rubbed the back of his head out of appreciation. He almost instantly starts purring. Adorable. What about you? How's your last year of undergrad going? It's going. His purring stops and he looks down at the ground. I move my hand down to his back and begin rubbing in circles. What's going on? It's nothing serious. That's bullshit. Hey now, you can't offer to help me without letting me help you too. What's up? Damon starts to lean forward. It's really not that serious. I'm just not doing as well as I need to in class. That sounds fairly serious, Damien. I know. Do you want to come over so I can help you? You're already dealing with your master's courses, you and Diana. I don't want to distract either of you just 'cause I'm bad at math. Well, math was no cakewalk for me either. I'm really not looking forward to doing any measurement training. And anyways, I wouldn't have offered to help you if I didn't want to. You can rely on me too, alright? Okay. Damien leans his fury form into me. I give him some more reassuring rubs on his back. From what Diana told me, he's always had issues with school. He even enrolled later than most people from the university. Was only able to afford it due to the sports scholarship. We've had our fair share of all-nighters over the past couple of years, even before we started dating. It would have spent a month away just to make sure he keeps his scholarship. Remember that Diana wanted to become a math teacher before grad school? You'd be doing her a favor by letting her teach you. Didn't she used to tutor you when you were growing up? Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make it past Algebra 101 in high school if it weren't for her. I leaned back on the bench, breathing in the refreshing cool air. Actually, we met when we were in the 3rd grade. My scores were so bad halfway through the term that my teachers were already prepping me to be held back. I remember being so scared my stomach was in knots when I called my mom. I was definitely crying, and my teacher just shook her head. She wasn't happy, of course, but she tried to calm me down. From what I've heard, she'd never been the kind of mom to punish you when you're trying your best. She certainly had a way of seeing the whole picture. When Dad got home, he tried to help me the best he could with my homework until Mom came home. He wasn't very good at math either, though. I think I got that from him. I see my head getting off topic. Anyway, I remember what happened after that call very well. It's one of my only vivid memories from back then. Had my face down on the desk with my arms around my head to block out the light, sniveling and crying. Then a heavy textbook slammed on my desk. I jumped up, trying to hide my crying. Hey, why are you crying so dang much? Well, well, what? Spit it out already. Sorry, I haven't been doing very well lately, and do you need some help? Huh? Well, I don't know if your Diana's here. Damien and I burst out laughing over the presence of her. She really was a 9-year-old superhero. Ever since then, she's had my back and vice versa. That's honestly so cheesy I might cry. Wouldn't blame you, she really was that kind of kid. She told me that you used to get picked on too, and that she got in trouble for kicking someone's teeth out. To be fair, they were already rotting out of their skull from all the candy they stole from me. David snorts at that before pulling me under his arm for a side hug. Well, if you ever run into any more candy stealing douchebags, just give me a ring and I'll be there ASAP. Oh, come on, at least let me try to fight my own battles. I can handle myself. Can you? Hey, I have you know I've beaten Diana before. You mean the time she got her wisdom teeth out, and despite the fact she was hopped on loopy gas, she nearly kicked your ass? So, I was thinking of getting a double shot espresso frappe in the cafe with extra whipped cream. I try to casually change the subject. My failure is obvious. Daring today, aren't we? David teases as he ruffles my hair. Normally I tell him to stop, but it's always a mess, so I let it go. This time, that's a good point. Since it's your treat, I should think of something extravagant. I'm not sure how extravagant you're gonna get at that old joint. Guess we better head over there and find out. I sit up to stretch. My legs still feel a bit tight, but not enough to keep me from part 2 of our date. David takes my hand and we start our trek down the hill. I'm so glad that I had my punch card filled out for your order. Guess you better think your bet through a bit more carefully, I tease as I start to chip away at the mound of whipped cream on top of our concoction of sugar and caffeine. Apparently, good thing you offered to share with me, right? Sure did. As much as this looks yummy, there's no way I'd be able to finish it on my own. I pass a spoon over to Damien. We come here so much that they just know to give me an extra spoon for the whipped cream at this point. Damien sits down next to me in our usual booth. The heating here is always busted, so it's actually kind of chilly. It's old. I think it's from the early 2000s. Damien found it on one of his runs a few years ago. He's been coming ever since, and eventually brought me along. It's one of my favorite places on earth. Do you want me to get you some extra coffee? I know sweet stuff isn't your first choice. It's fine. I guess we can call it my just desserts. I go on Damien snickers as he plants a straw in it to take his first sip. It's almost as sweet as you, babe. I groan louder. Stop. Now I'm the one who's feeling flushed. Damien can at least hide it with his fluff. Meanwhile, I'm stuck with my love for my boyfriend plastered nearly on my face. The tragedy of it all. It's someone feeling red in the face. Damien pulls me in again to pepper kisses on my cheek. You really are the Antichrist. You're my favorite devotee, Damien. As usual, he knows just what to do to get me blushing and just know how to take advantage of that. Not that I mind, of course. I give up on trying to fight back and give in to a booth side cuddle session. It's a bit awkward, but we've had plenty of practice. It usually ends with me just leaning against his shoulder as he keeps me close. I can feel his heart beating. It's still a bit fast from our earlier workout. Wouldn't be surprised if I fell back asleep here. I'm that comfortable. My phone steers me a bit as it vibrates in Damon's backpack. Wonder who that could be. Everyone rummages through his bag and passes me my phone. There's a new message from Diana, along with an attachment. Taking care of the cats is going great, but Xander keeps eating Mikhail's food. Please teach your son some manners. The attachment is a picture of Diana holding up one of my cats, showing us a naughty boy. Oh, that's right. Your folks are out of town back home. Yeah, they thought of a quick vacation since I told them I'd stay on campus over break. You still didn't have to do that. Well, I wanted to, and that's that. This is just one day of our break together. Let's enjoy it the best we can, okay? David's trying to fight it, but my mouth curls into a bashful smile. Sounds like a plan, Si. This time it's me trying to bring Damon in for a side hug. It's a bit too heavy for me to pull, so he's gotten accustomed to playing along. I love you, Cyrus. I love you too, Damon. I nuzzle into his cheek fluff and his purring revs up once again. We're sitting in silence for a little while, enjoying this quiet morning together. Once we have our fill of silence, we both wave to one of the waitresses. We decide we might as well share breakfast together while we're here. So it's almost fully up at this point. It's a 8:15 a.m. We got ourselves another round of coffee to go. I bake with 90% less sugar. This is just for the caffeine. Hope you guys have a good holiday. Damon shouts to the employees as he leaves while I'm paying the tab. I usually give them a good tip. They've always been really good to Damien. Alright, thanks for the great meal. Y'all are one of the only places still open before getting up from the booth and waving goodbye as well. The warmth of the morning sun is welcome. It's almost worth waking up before 6 a.m. Thanks for paying, Si. I appreciate it. No missing it. You ready to head back? Yeah. Hold up my hand and he grabs it almost instantly. We take our time walking home. By the way, do you want some help moving in? I don't have much to bring. You sure it would be okay? I don't think it's technically allowed, but most of the staff are gone for 2 weeks at least. If anyone asks, I'll just explain to them what's going on. They should know that the undergrad dorms don't stay open during break. It'll be good practice for down the road. Damien nearly chokes on his coffee. Babe, warn me next time. Well, expect the unexpected. It's not even that sudden anyways. We've been discussing this for a while now. I know, but it still feels so surreal. I know what you mean. I sigh heavily, squeezing his paw a bit. When I drop you off, I can head back to scrounge some stuff up. Want to meet me there at around 3 o'clock? The dorm should be locked up at around 5 tonight. It's a date. Or are lucky getting 2 dates in one day. Cheers. We clink our paper cups together before taking another swig of caffeine juice. That'll give me time to get ready. I got some new outfits I want to try out this holiday. I don't know how you can wear that stuff. They look so tight. They kind of are, but it's less about the comfort and more about the fashion. Oh, speaking of, I get Damon to stop so I can sift through his backpack. After I remember a woman's thing, I revealed my prize, a glasses case. I can't believe you still have those. I can. They're one of my most prized possessions. I proudly put on a pair of glasses. David got them for my birthday last year. I have been wearing them ever since. I wish I could have gotten you. I wish I could have gotten you something else. That was your first birthday after we got together. They're not anything special. He's being a bit bashful, but I won't have any of it. You worked your butt off for them, Damien. That's why they mean so much to me. Use my middle finger to adjust them. Damien, your white is special. They're way better than anything a designer brand could come up with. Come on, Si. You're being over dramatic. His trail is switching. He's always been anxious about guests. Despite his reputation on the court, he has bouts of damaging self-conscious. I blame his folks. I used this opportunity to build up his confidence like it did mine. You know, I got my hospital ID badge with these on. That should arrive when school starts back up. You did? His voice betrays a hint of doubt. Yes, sir, I did. I love them. Just like I love you, Damien. Before he can even reply, I take his hand in mine and pull him closer so I can plant a kiss on his fluffy cheek. He blushes for a moment before relaxing. His voice is a bit shaky. Thanks, Cyrus. Sorry, I shouldn't get so emotional over stuff like this. You're allowed to feel whatever you want, Damien, okay? You're not trying to put on a brave face. Okay? We'll rock silence for a bit, besides an occasional sip from our coffees. I'll give Damien some time to collect himself. I try to act natural by looking at the builder's trail around us so he doesn't know I see him wiping his face. Once he takes a deep breath, he starts back up. So, your parents were really fine with you staying on campus? Yeah, they were cool about it. I told them it was for a few reasons and they didn't bat an eye. What were the reasons? Well, I'm holding one in the paws right now. He gave his paw a squeeze and that bashful smile comes out again. Heh, you're so corny. Well, so. It might be one of my last winters here on campus. I wanted to see the city when it was nice and quiet. It's almost like a completely different town when the students are gone. We start making our way through the maze of crosswalks to get to our favorite bridge. It is nice, but it does kind of suck that most of the places closed down. I guess so, but that just means we can find some more hidden gems like the cafe. Very true. Maybe we can even find some antique shops. One of my friends back in Vermont will take me along when we got the chance. Found some interesting things to say the least. He's such an old man. Maybe we can buy a candy store to get you some hard candies. Come now, respect your elders. Besides, you know I have a sweet tooth, so I gladly accept them. Make a great case for yourself, old timer. One for Damien's fur again. He's giggling all the while. Whippersnapper. Oh, hey, looky. Damien starts dead in his tracks and points at where I look. At this point, the sun is well above the horizon, illuminating the wintry Arizona morning. Wow, pretty, right? Still is. I wonder how it would look covered in snow. Good luck with that. It would probably melt the second it landed. Who knows? Maybe one day. I'd love to see a nice snowy night with a certain tiger. I'd love to be said tiger. I would too. We spent a decent amount of time admiring the scenery, sipping the rest of our coffee while we hold each other close. Yeah, staying on campus was a good call. The campus is uncharacteristically quiet. There's not even a single red solo cup on the ground. As much as I loved our morning together, I desperately need that sour. David's walking me back home, quite an eventful morning we had together. Do you want me to pick you up? Usually I said no, since it's a nice walk through campus. But after our marathon, I think that would be the best. Sounds good. This is gonna be fun, a whole 2 weeks together. We still gotta keep it on the lowdown, someone might hear. Let them hear. I want everyone to know. I cut him off by clapping my palm over his snout. No, bad kitty. He just starts purring as if nothing happened. I love this goober. We're almost home. This would usually be where we say goodbye for a while, but not this time. This time it'll actually be see you later. Hey, Stars? I love you, and he's starting to say something else, but it's hard to make out what it is. Everything goes dark for a moment, until I'm met with, "Human, are you deaf? Wake the fuck up already." Cooper's voice. He sounds worried for some reason. Wake up. I feel as if I've been hit by a defibrillator. I jolt up, headbutting Cooper right in his snout, causing him to stumble backward. He's yowling in pain, which is only making it harder for me to get a grip of what's happening. I try to ignore him. I'm too busy coming to. Fuck. God, what's gotten into you? I can't leave you alone for even an afternoon. Shut the fuck up. My emotions bubble over as I raise my voice in anger at this wolf I'm once again the presence of. Why the hell did you wake me up? Excuse me? You were having a fucking fit on the couch when I walked in. I was dreaming. No, I was reliving some of the happier moments of my life. What the hell are you talking about? I start to get huffy. I'm not in a good mental state for this. I feel like I was ripped away from my life through time and space. I debate on blowing up some more. I really want to. However, I figure this is something I should keep to myself. I don't need this asshole to know anything else about me. It's none of your business. Welcome home. That attitude is not going to fly. Once he realizes I didn't do any serious damage to him, he pulls on my shirt to get me to look at him. I try to remain confident. I'm so out of it that my panic is definitely showing. You're practically convulsing, and you're going to tell me it's not my business? You clearly remember what was going on, and you're going to tell me. What happened? I stare at him deadpan, not wanting to deal with his attitude anymore than he wants to deal with mine. Jeez, you asked a lot of questions. As well as Cooper smacks me across the face with the back of his paw. My eyes go wide out of shock, and what confidence I had quickly dissipates. Hold my face, it doesn't hurt, but any semblance of safety I have evaporates. Cooper's practically snarling at this point. Listen, you little shit. You're in my home. It's my responsibility. If something's wrong, I want you to tell me. I struggle to come up with any words. I feel like our first meeting is happening all over again. You're all alone out here. I'm all you have, and even that isn't going to last long. I'm offering to help you right now. I feel a tense in my confidence coming back. Now I'm starting to get aggravated. I grab my arm and try to pull him off of my shirt. You're the biggest reason why I haven't said anything. Is that right? And why is that? Cyrus, that's my name, right? He drops me on the couch with a look of shock on his face. How did you? So, you did know. I knew it. That's my name? That you couldn't even tell me? You asked me point blank what you should call me, and you decided to call me human. What the hell is wrong with you? Just wait a second. My name is Cyrus Galahad Cantwell. I'm from Vermont. My mom's name is Candace. My dad's name is Cyrus. Cooper bellows loudly, causing me to stop. Calm the fuck down already. You're an adult. You can talk to me without having a fucking temper tantrum. That's where it's coming. Stop. Cooper clenches his paw on my mouth, keeping me quiet. Your emotions are going haywire. I can literally tell that your thoughts are going every which way. Do we need to go over your breathing exercises again? All I can do is yell angrily in his paw. So I do just that. Cooper sighs. I'll take that as a yes. Get through your little hissy fit, and then we can talk. My yelling sputters out shortly after. It's hard to breathe like this. You ready to calm down? They'll start glaring at him. Cooper huffs. Cyrus, look, I'm sorry. He exhales as he releases the tension in his own chest, almost fleeing. I want you to understand that I take no happiness in keeping secrets like this, especially from someone in your current situation. Cooper looks me in the eyes with a regretful expression before returning to his usual confidence. I tell you, I'm not doing this because I want to. This is my job. As fucked up as it is, you're under the authority of people you don't even know until we make it to resume. My glare devolves into a stare. I'm letting him talk before making my decision. I don't trust him, but I like to think he's being sincere. There are a lot of things I'm not allowed to tell you. A lot of this is for your safety, but a lot isn't. I know a lot about you. I can't tell you anything you don't already know. I understand how frustrating that is to be left in the dark by the only person you're able to rely on. Even me telling you I can't tell you anything is a huge risk. However, he lets go of my mouth and takes a deep breath. You're a person and should be treated as such. If you have anything you want to ask, I can at least be straight and say if it's classified. But I can't do that if you don't try to talk to me, okay? He once again looks me in the eyes. I can feel my frustration slowly wash away, although they're still lingering on the edge of my mind. Even so, I hold out my hands to start the breathing exercise. In. I start pulling my hands closer. And out. Cooper follows my tempo with his paws. Just like when we first met, we do this together for a little while. Even when I'm almost completely calm, I don't say anything for a bit. I'm still processing being worked out in my life with Damien for the second time. When I do start, I'm finding it hard to articulate my current emotions. Alright, look, I'm sorry for spazzing out like that. I was having a very vivid dream, a memory of my boyfriend. Cool, lets me continue. No offense, but going from holding his hand to waking up to your kiss myself and try to be amicable. The distinct face was a bit jarring and a little bit scary. He was sorry before rubbing the back of his neck. To be fair, the shape you were in looked pretty scary. I thought you were actually having a seizure or something. Really? I didn't feel like that when I was asleep. Young Cooper continues. Well, you didn't look like you were possessed or anything. You were just shaking around a bit too much to look safe. Weird. Well, the back of my head. Maybe that injury did something worse internally. It's possible. Unfortunately, I can't really afford to take you to a doctor, not like we have your records on hand either. Not even from your employers. They might have that kind of information, but classified, got it. Sorry. It's cool. Well, no it's not, but I can at least understand you're just the middleman in this whole deal. Thank you. Your understanding that will make this a lot easier. Even so, do you promise to try to be as honest as you can? I can promise that. Alright, do you know how I ended up on this planet? Well, Mommy and Daddy love each other very much. The sudden joke catches me off guard and I almost snap at him. Instead, I just push into his chest. I bite weakly. Come on, man, I'm being serious. Cooper smirks. Sorry I couldn't resist, but, no. They didn't tell me anything like that. Can you ask them? Can I? Yes. Will I? No. If I ask specifics like that, they know something's up. Your employers sound like tools. They can be. We both sigh. I'll be honest, your name was one of the only things they really told me, along with giving me orders to keep you under wraps. Even from my own name? Even from your own name. Jeez. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Like I said, they didn't tell me much. Hell, I didn't even know you were gay. That last part was a bit forward. I'm not really used to people talking about my sexuality like that. Well, kind of. I am gay, in the way that I fall in love with men, but I'm actually asexual. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I get that. What, you do? You like guys, but not sex. It's not that uncommon. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it. What? Nothing. I'm just not used to it being that easy for people to understand. What's there to understand? Well, one of my old teammates was asexual. People trust that casually, but he's still wearing a frown. Really? Yeah, I think he was dimming or something. He's being so nonchalant that I don't know what to say. You're not that weird. I mean, you are weird, but not that weird. Thanks. This conversation took a turn. Let's get off of my sexuality. So, there's nothing else you know about me? No. I know more about you, but it's more about your circumstances, less about your personal life. What are my circumstances? Cyrus. I know. Classified. You catch on quick. It's been a day. At least give me a week to figure out how to live with amnesia. You know, that's fair. I really shouldn't give you a hard time. I squint at him. You seem awfully nice tonight. Why? I'll have you know, I'm always nice. And let that BS hang in the air. Anyways, I did get a nice amount of supplies for us while I was out. Oh? Like what? Wait. Look outside. It's a bit darker. What time is it? It's almost 6. Oh, geez, I slept for over 5 hours. I'll never get to sleep tonight. I might have something that could knock you out. Some tea set? How appetizing. Speaking of, come on. Help me make dinner. I'm starving. Sure. What do you need help with? Let's find out. I got all kinds of set. From dumpsters? From dumpsters? I heard the first time. Didn't answer the first time. No, not from a dumpster. You have to continue. Elaborate. So what even constitutes a dumpster anyway? Cooper, I'm kidding, you're so easy. Luckily for us, my client sent me some funds ahead of trying to get you home easier. So I got us some decent food. Oh? And since you had such a hunger for knowledge, pun intended, I thought I'd teach you about the kind of food and equipment we have. That certainly sounds better than lying in a pool of your own blood. We'll make some decent memories for you yet. Cooper flashes a genuine smile at me before leading me to the kitchen. He's almost like a completely different person. Maybe he isn't so bad after all. Oh, but if there's one memory you could forget, could it be the one of me slapping you? Cooper grimaces and rubs the back of his head with his ears lowered. Don't need my employees to catch wind of that. I'm sorry, though. I saw he rubbed my cheek. Don't worry, I didn't feel a thing. Look at him with a smile. Cooper gives me an incredulous look. I don't think he understood my joke. Cooper asked for some help sifting through the duffel bags he dragged in. His words, there's apparently some decent food. Well, you did get a lot. How did you carry it all in? I got arms, don't I? He flexed his arms. Damn, he sure does. I guess so. They're pretty impressive. What do you expect? When you live on your own, you gotta learn how to be efficient. That sounds like a good enough sig to ask about his past. Although he does seem to be in a good mood. I really shouldn't push it. I do anyway. Why do you live alone? You missed the furniture yesterday. Couldn't you room with them? I used to, but it became apparent that my line works best when I'm alone. What do you mean? I guess that's the wrong way to put it. I need a space where I could be alone. It would be trouble if anyone outside my contracts came across my clients. Can you hand me that package? Sure. He pulls that package wrapped in paper. It feels kind of wet. Is this meat? Sure is. Prime rib. Beef, huh? Yeah, another similar thing from back home. I decided to ask Cooper what's been bugging me. Cooper, can you tell me where you are? Tell me where we are? Well, the pods were on the outskirts of Atencia, where my apartment is in. No, what's the name of this planet? He organizes the new food in the fridge before taking a deep breath and closing the door. That depends on who you ask. I pause. Well, I'm asking you, is there not a name for the planet? Not really. Not anything set in stone anyway. Why is that? Cooper pauses again, tapping the counter in thought. Well, first and foremost, that's not classified. But it is something that most people don't really know. Well, you don't know the name of the planet? There's a lot we don't know. That's quite strange. It is. We don't even have a set year. The hell? Why? Cooper takes a deep breath, trying to recollect something. I'm not too sure of the details myself, but... Cooper sighs. Have you heard of the 7 stars? I don't think so, no. I try to see if I have any inkling of an idea, but all I get is a bit of a headache. Why? What is it? It's basically the start of the apocalypse. They call it that because supposedly about 7 meteorites entered the planet's atmosphere at the same time. At this point, all the information we have was passed down by word of mouth. Most of what we know is spotty at best. We know that, at the time, they were able to stave off most of the damage by chipping away at the meteorites mid-flight. Direct impacts would have most likely been extinction. Apparently, some were able to escape to space temporarily, but no one's certain if they survived. There are rumors that they found help and came back, but I think it's bullshit. Like aliens? Who knows? Cooper shrugs before nodding me to the living room to organize the rest of his bounty. The continent we're on apparently got hit the hardest. They screwed up big time with how they dealt with the meteor. It spread all over the country. Cooper slides on his axiom to search for something. From what we know, about 60% of the planet's overall population was wiped out. Jesus. It's funny you say that. We don't even know where that specimen came from. Please don't say that. I don't need another existential crisis. Sorry, that's why I wanted to ease you into the world. I clutched my head, the headache coming to a peak. You okay? Just a sudden headache. I'll be fine. I'll take that as a sign that today's history lesson is over. While we travel, I'll let you in on all sorts of things. But for now, try and take care of yourself first, alright? He blessed my soda in reassurance before guiding me to the couch. Here, I can handle making dinner. You just get some rest. But I've been resting for the past several hours. I whined like a child not wanting to be put down for their afternoon nap. From what I witnessed, you are far from resting. Let me get you some water and some meds. Alright, thanks. I groan as I recline on the couch. Why can't I feel headaches when I can't feel anything else? This is bullshit. Here, just drink it slowly. I know. Cooper chuckles at my grumblings as I take the glass of water. It's fizzing at best and almost looks carbonated. I give it a sniff. It smells kind of fruity. Almost like seltzer water, but with actual flavor. You sure I won't get sick from this? If you do, God help you. Is that another phrase you don't know the origins of? No. Pretty sure most religions have gods. I have made a fool of myself here again. The seltzer water actually tastes pretty good. It almost reminds me of orange soda, though not nearly as sweet. Thankfully, it does its job quickly. My headache starts evaporating after a few minutes of drinking the stuff. I need to ask Cooper if I can bring these tablets for the road. It seems like I get a headache every other minute. Speaking of Cooper, he calls out to me from the kitchen corner. Hey, Cyrus, did you wash the dishes? Oh yeah, a few. Still, thanks for that. It's a pain to clean them myself. Why is that? I don't like doing it. Well, you're lucky you got me. I don't mind doing this. You even spruced up the place while I was gone. Wish I could keep you around for longer then. I'm sure you do, considering the state the place was in. Well, it beats hiring a cleaning service. You saved me a lot of money. I can't tell if he's trying to bait me into wanting to stay or not. Regardless, it's nice to feel wanted. Well, maybe I can come visit. Maybe I can see him flick his ear. Wouldn't be surprised if he's just as lonely. Do you do this full time? Do what? Escorting? Mercenary work in general. I guess that is a more fitting word for it. Yeah, I do, more or less. I was never able to keep a steady job. Are you happy doing what you're doing? Cooper wraps the beef and puts it on the pan, sprinkling little spices on it. I'm content. But are you happy? Sometimes, when I get paid, I am. That's pretty standard for a job, right? Yeah, he got me there. This is about how you're handling that meat. Cooper snorts. Oh my God, grow up. Sorry, old man. Spare me some of your wisdom. Roll my eyes and continue. Anyways, were you upset before? Cooper turns to look surprised. How do you know? I worked at a kitchen for a while. Your movements remind me of myself I used to work with. Wow, that's pretty receptive of you. I guess some of your memories are coming back. I scratch my hair. He's right. It just flows out of me at this point, whether I want it or not. Kinda, I can't recall things on my own. They sort of just come out. I'm not sure what the triggers are. I'll keep that in mind. Who knows, maybe by the time we get to resume, your memories will be back. That would be nice. It's kind of weird not knowing everything about yourself. I can imagine. It's possible you'll be a completely different person by the end of this. That's a scary thought, although that's just a part of life, always changing, even when you don't want it. Maybe you were a philosopher in a past life. That's pretty deep. I think that's just how development works, but I appreciate the compliment. Really wasn't one. Whatever fills the void in your heart. I have you know, my heart is very full. Thank you very much. Just like that, I'm immediately thinking of Damien. Oops, I guess I'm wearing a goofy expression on my face because Cooper looks absolutely disgusted. What the hell are you thinking about? Just the love of my life. Cooper raises an eyebrow but doesn't inquire further. Instead, he focuses on the night's dinner. Glad he is. It's smelling pretty good to the point where my mouth starts to water. Dad, is dinner ready? Stop calling me Dad. It's weird. Oh, come on. If you get to call me old man, I get to call you a pet name. Once again, he looks absolutely done with me. First of all, Dad is not a pet name. Second of all, me making fun of you is a one-way street. And I'm not allowed to do the same? Of course not. That would be weird. Why? You ask a lot of questions. Not this again. Cooper snickers as he brings over a couple of plates. We'll get one nickname basis one day. I'll hold you to that. Surprisingly, Cooper's meal tastes pretty good. I can't tell what some of the spices are, but they blend together nicely. It's kind of a smoky flavor, but sweet at the same time. Almost like barbecue sauce. Oh wow, you really can cook. This is pretty good. Why are you so surprised? I honestly thought you just dug through the trash for your food. Do you really think I'm homeless? You're taking too long to answer a yes or no question. Well, by definition, no, because you own a home, but now you're making a yes or no question complicated. It's a complicated situation. When is the last time you? Then the idea strikes me. Actually, when we finish dinner, I got something I want to do for you. Oh, what? A secret. So you can keep secrets. I don't want to hear that from you. You still owe me. Do I? You really have to deny. Huh? Let's look at him. This dog is in for a treat. Are you serious? Yeah, strip. Cooper hustling is desperation. It can't be that bad. You're telling me you can smell blood from blocks away, but you can't smell your own BO. It's long since faded. That shows how long it's been since you had a bath. Over the shower curtain. We're gonna fix that. If I wasn't wearing a t-shirt right now, I'd definitely roll up my sleeves. This is going to take a lot of work. Do we really have to? This isn't. I'll tell the clients you smacked me. Cooper narrows his eyes. Seriously? Seriously, no offense, but your stance is that repulsive. Cooper sighs heavily before starting to take his clothes off. You're seriously the most annoying escortee ever. That's not even a word. It is here, asshole. I roll my eyes. Sure it is. Are we going to have to do this the hard way? I cross my arms and stare at Cooper, really trying to nail my glare down. Cooper doesn't look very impressed. What did I get out of this? You get a gold star for practicing basic hygiene. And what? You get a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do. I don't need. Are you scared of water or something? What? No. Then take your clothes off and get in the tub. I'm pointing a huff. Cooper's good mood is about dissipated at this point. Seriously, so needy. He says that and hands me his jacket. I take it from him and toss it in what I assume is a hamper. Cooper looks at me for a moment. Can you turn around? It's kind of weird to undress in front of a guy I barely know. It's just a baby. Roll my eyes and do as he says. I can hear his clothes drop on the ground behind me. You really want to do this? I'm almost begging you to take a bath, but not in a weird way. Cooper snickers. Way to make it weird. Okay, you can turn around now. Immediately, I hesitate for a moment. I turn around slowly. Sure enough, there he is. Ha, gross. General jokes aside, he almost be attractive if he wasn't such an asshole. I have to say, he's pretty confident standing there naked. Looks like someone wanted to show off after all. I don't know why you made such a big deal out of it. You said you're asexual, right? Thought honey stuff wasn't your thing. Oh wait, that's actually pretty considerate of him. Oh, well, no, not really. I mean, it depends if they're sex repulsed or not, obviously. It's not like I was going to stare at it or anything. But there you say, you want to get started? Lord knows I am. I wish for the tablet to fit it with the temperature. You figured out how to use it? There wasn't much to figure out. How do you like the showers? Hot, and then cold. I gave him an incredulous look. Really? Yeah, really. You're unhinged. In a cold shower? Give me a break. It's easy to overheat with all this fur. I take a hot shower to feel fresh, and then a cold one to cool down. I guess that makes sense. I slide the bar to the wet side and turn on the faucet before handing him a bottle of shampoo. Here, do some of the preliminary stuff on your own. I crack my knuckles and stretch a bit. I'll do the rest. Cooper looks a bit skeptical. What's the rest? Time limit, remember? Cooper rolls his eyes before closing the shower curtain. While he's getting started, I turn around the room. I look around the room. I didn't think about it while washing my own hair, but I could probably use a hair tie or something to keep it out of my face. He probably doesn't use them himself, but maybe a past client of his kept some in here. I look behind me to make sure she's still in there. I already rifled through these cabinets before, but doing so in his presence suddenly makes me feel weird about it. Regardless, I start to sift through the cabinets and drawers again as quiet as I can. Here's the shower curtain open. What are you doing? Fuck, he's got that super wolf hearing. I look back. He looks so skinny with his damp fur that I have to really try not to laugh. I do let out a snort, however. So I was just looking for something to tie my hair back with. Who rolls his eyes and points out with his noise? There's a first aid kit somewhere. Use the bandages. I don't get a chance to respond as he closes the curtain. Thanks, I guess. I reach out to the top cabinet and take the lone red box down. It's pretty dusty. I wonder how long it's been out here. I relax at the wrist I have covered my nose. It's absolutely filled with dust. Jesus Christ, how old is this thing? I yell through my coughing fit. I don't know. It was here when I got the place. I'm going to show you how to clean tomorrow. We don't got a year, bud. I can hear him snicker as if this is something to be proud of. What a loser. There's some bandages in here. As far as I'm aware, those can't expire. I'm not sure. I don't remember the rest of my master's program yet. Wait, that bandages? This was just cloth. Guess I'm still overthinking silly things. Thankfully, there's a small pair of scissors in the box, so I cut off a long strip to tie my hair up a bit. I turn to the mirror. I look at like a bad movie character. Scars, long white hair, and a ponytail. I'm every is a teen's favorite character all at once. It is nice that I can look at myself without flinching, though. That's something. Are you done? Almost. You can turn the water off. Alright, let me know when you're ready. Should I be worried? Is the big red wolf scared of being groomed? I hear a subtle growl from behind the curtain, and this time I definitely snort. You'll be fine, don't be Okay, I'm ready, I guess. Pause for a moment before opening the curtain. Sure enough, I met with a damn naked wolf. So you got the hard part out of the way all on your own. They get my gold star now? He rolls his eyes at me, and I snicker. Oh no, we're about halfway done. I need you to sit down now. What? Why? So I can wash you, duh. Is that not what I just did? I'm sure you got a good chunk of it done, but you really need a thorough bath. Cooper sighs loudly. He almost sounds like a whiny kid. Seriously, it's not going to take that long. Just lean against the wall so I can see your back. The tub is big enough for you, I'm sure. He groans before doing as he's told. Do you have a bucket or something I could use? Cooper groans as if speaking has suddenly become an exercise. There might be one in the closet. Thank you, old valued customer. He grumbles as I fetch the bucket. Turn the bath faucet on and get a steady stream going. Ready? Cooper sighs. Sure. I can practically hear his eyes rolling. What a puppy. I take a glob of shampoo and start to run it through the top of Cooper's head along with his back. I can hear Cooper grumbling. I already did that. Sorry, I still don't trust you. Deal with it. Besides, it's normal to wash your hair twice. His ears lower for a moment as I start to dig into his fur, but they quickly perk up, along with the rising sound of a wet tail flapping against the tub. For his pride's sake, I choose not to comment on it, despite being pretty cute. Sorry, Damien, but wolves do have something cats don't. I'm going to pour the water over your head, okay? Mm-hmm. He's digging the scratch as I know it. I fill the bucket up and pour it straight down, getting myself a bit wet in the process. Oh well, these aren't my clothes anyway. We repeat this process a few times, particularly on his back. Wonder when was the last time he had someone to help him wash. He put some more effort into his back, causing that tail of his to slap the stub some more. He's making some subtle moans throughout our impromptu spa session. Wouldn't be surprised if he asked me to do this again before our little adventure is over. Not that I would mind. only took us about 20 minutes to get him sufficiently washed. It would have taken less time, but once we got into it, he kept asking for more. I don't blame him. That was probably the most intimate experience he had with another person in quite a while. I have to say the same. I kind of liked it too, which is going to make separating that much more difficult. Wait, stay strong. You have a boyfriend. What the fuck? Okay, I'll admit it. That wasn't so bad. I'll take that as a compliment. He washes my hair before starting to stretch. In any case, you certainly made me feel a hell of a lot better. I'll need to do that more often. What's sour? That too. He smirks at me and I roll my eyes. This dude. Well, I'm glad I picked that shampoo. You smell so much better now. I'm not sure how manly it is to smell like oranges and vanilla though. I didn't think you cared about that kind of thing. I do have a certain image that I like to keep, which is, I do have to be somewhat intimidating. If it were me, I'd be way more scared being met with an angry looking dude smelling like flowers. Ugh, why? So you're confident. I guess. He scratches the back of his head. You're weird. Do I know it? I start a big and long yawn before stretching myself. Ugh, that was a workout. Even my long nap earlier, I'm exhausted. Cooper holds up his accent and reads out the time. It's a bit past 9 p.m. Maybe my sleep schedule is salvageable after all. Time for bed. I'll say, you'll need the rest. You'll need your rest for tomorrow. You'll come along. Wait, huh? Why? After your little napping session, I'd rather keep a closer eye on you. Besides, you'd probably be bored sitting in here all day again. Tell me about it. All right, what time do you want to head out? Let's say around 9 a.m. That okay? Sure. Let out another yawn and start to make my way back to the couch. Cooper stops me before I'll make it, though. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I have something for you. Rub my face for a moment as Cooper fetches something from one of his bags. Here, this what you were looking for? He's holding a book with an ornate-looking pen in one paw, and the other a cup with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Well, that looks kind of expensive. Where did you get this? I found an antique store that had junk like this, although I'm not sure of the quality. Why does it look valuable? I take the pen from him. It feels pretty expensive for how weighty it is. Looks pricey to say the least. I hope it didn't cost you much. Not really. The journal thing was in a big pile and there was a big cup of these pens. Weird. Well, thank you, Cooper. I appreciate it. I take the journal as well and flip through it. It looks kind of minimalist in that obnoxious sort of way. Oh, wait, I have something for you too. I just place the journal and pen down on the living room table before heading to the windowsill. I found this while I was cleaning out one of your junk boxes. Oh? Cooper's mouth fades into a look of shock as I turn the tablet screen on. I wanted to show this to you. I know you said I could have most of what I found, but I didn't even know how to unlock the thing. Wow. He looks completely enamored with the image being displayed. Cooper pauses for a moment before taking a deep breath. He's trying to smile at me. Thanks, Cooper, I appreciate it. Do you mind if I keep this? I could see about finding another tablet like it somewhere. You've done more than enough for me. The journal's pretty. In fact, I might write in it for a bit. I'll leave you to that, then. Have a good night. He pats my head before heading to his bedroom. Good night. I yell at him just before he closes the door. Cooper turns around and gives me a sad kind of smile. I wonder if I should have shown him that, but I think it was the right thing to do. Before I get comfortable on the couch, I go to brush my teeth for the first time in who knows how long. The toothpaste isn't minty like I thought it would be. It's almost fruity. That's one of the more bizarre things that happened to date. Still gets the job done, and my mouth feels completely different. Thankfully, my teeth look to be in okay shape. I don't even want to think about the dentist situation around these parts. After one more rinsing, I go back to the couch. I pick up the pen for a moment, but I set it down. I'm too tired to write in it. I'll do some writing before we head out tomorrow. As I start to get comfortable, I reminisce over what's happened. Not a lot has happened per se, but what's happened has been pretty okay. My reminiscing gets interrupted though as I hear an audible grunt, followed by the sound of something solid and electrical snapping from Cooper's room. Right here. We got to learn from Cooper a little bit about the apocalypse and that a bunch of meteorites threaten to destroy all life on the planet, and that I think something was done to at least break the meteorites into smaller bits, so that way, less people would be killed and that some of the population would still be alive. So ultimately, this apocalypse wiped out 60% of the population. So let's say that right now there are 8 billion people here on Earth. And assuming that this is Earth, got 8 billion, and so that probably would mean like 4.8 billion people were wiped out. 4.8 billion people were killed in the apocalypse. So that leaves just maybe like 3.2 million people left in this world now. So I don't think Cooper, I think there's some scenarios here. I think either Cooper is in a different world now, or maybe the memories Cooper had aren't real. That maybe those are memories that were implanted in him. Maybe those memories just false and just were put in him, and that what he's going through right now is the real world. Or maybe he somehow got into a different time period. I have no idea. Anyway, you see there on the screen, Cooper is sitting on the edge of the train, and Osiris is holding a flower. Not sure what that flower means or symbolizes, but I think as we continue down the chapters, we'll learn more about it, what it symbolizes. So, Cooper got to have a dream about his boyfriend, Damien, the tiger. And they really love each other and support each other a whole lot. So, with that flashback, his dream of their interactions with each other, it's no wonder that Cyrus wants to get back to his boyfriend so much. Well, just the fact that he's a boyfriend will make somebody want to come back to them, but with how supportive and caring his boyfriend is, that makes Cyrus wants to go back to him even more. And Cyrus and Cooper, they seem to really gotten more closer now, with Cyrus helping Cooper take a bath and as well as give him a massage, because throughout the game so far, that Cooper stinks. He has a bad odor on him and he doesn't really wash, so that was probably the first really good wash Cooper had in a long time. And Cooper really enjoyed the massage because he said that was the best massage he had in a long time. So that was an intimate scene that really has gotten them more closer to each other. And in my view, that's very helpful because with Cyrus trusting Cooper more, that will make Cooper's job easier. It'll make it easier for Cooper to take Cyrus to Resum, which is a refuge for humans. So not much happened in this update, but it is a very enjoyable update also. Just an opportunity for you, the person who watches at home, to know more about the characters, to know more about Cyrus and his boyfriend, as well as the opportunity for Cyrus and Cooper to get to know each other more. So this bath and massage scene certainly, in my opinion, is a turning point, because Cooper has shown himself to be a decent person towards Cyrus. He's not really this bad person. I mean, yeah, he got a little mean streak, but he's certainly been caring towards Cyrus, even if, and honestly, the only reason he's being caring towards Cooper, he's being caring. I mean, even in reality, the only reason he's being caring towards Cyrus is because it's his job. I mean, he's not doing this because he chooses to. He's just doing this because it's his job. But he is at least being very caring towards Cooper while he has to do this job. He's not trying to be rough on him or harmful to him, because he didn't like it when he slapped Cyrus. He really felt apologetic towards that. So that's all for now. We'll start chapter 4 next time. All information for the game is in the description box below. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.